Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvya Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine.
Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda.
Time more benefit
Of any devotional service we do.
of any devotional service we do.
So they're asking, is there any story?
So they are asking, is there any story?
I told the story,
I told the story,
what I remembered from the Padma Purana.
which I remembered from the Padma Purana.
You heard that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Why not? So there was a Brahmana. He had no children and no money.
So there was a Brahmana, he had no children and no money.
And he told his wife that I want to go to some distant land and raise money and send you.
He told his wife that I want to go to some distant land and earn some money and send you.
And she said, well, I have no money, but at least I have a husband.
She said, I don't have money, but at least I have a husband.
And if you go in a distant land, I'll have no money and no husband.
And if you go to a distant land, then I have no money and I don't have husband.
So Vishishta Muni is in a nearby village.
So Vasishtha Muni is in a nearby village.
Why don't you find out from him
Why don't you find out from him
why you don't have any money, any children,
why we don't have any money and no children,
and what the solution is?
and what the solution is?
So then he went and saw Vishishta Muni.
Then he went and saw Vasishtha Muni.
Vishishta Muni, he asked Vishishta Muni,
He asked Vasishtha Muni,
why don't I have money? Why don't I have children?
why I don't have money and why I don't have children.
So Vishishta Muni was Trikalgani, the past, present, and future.
So Vasishtha Muni was Trikal Jnani. He knew the past, present and future.
So he told the Brahman, in your previous life, you're a rich Sudra.
So he told the Brahmana that in your previous life you were a rich Shudra,
But you were a miser.
but you were miser.
You didn't spend on your wife.
And you did not spend on your
You
wife.
didn't spend on your children.
You did not spend on your
You
children.
buried your money.
You-
You buried your money.
You buried your money.
And somehow you suddenly died and your family didn't know where the money was.
And somehow you suddenly died and the family did not know where the money was.
So they spent the last days of their life in hunger and poverty.
So they spent the last days of their life in hunger and poverty.
So at this life, that's why you have no money and no children.
That's why in this life you don't have money and children.
I said, how was I born in a Brahmin family?
Then he asked, how was I born in a Brahmin family
I have such a good wife,
and I have such a good wife,
very intelligent.
very intelligent.
So he said, in a month of Vaishak,
He said then in the month of Baisakh,
for 3 days,
for 3 days
you fed Vaishnava.
you fed the Vaishnavas.
Therefore, you took birth as a Brahmin and you got a good wife.
Therefore you took birth as a Brahman and you got a good wife.
So what can I do now?
So what I can do now?
Well, Vasishtha Muni said there's 7 days left in the month of Vaishak.
Vasishtha Muni said, well, there's only 7 days left in the month of Baisakh.
So you can use this month, the 7 days,
You can use this month for 7 days
to feed Vaishnavas, to do devotional service.
to feed Vaishnavas, to do devotional service.
and that will change your karma.
and that will change your karma.
So I did that for 7 days.
So he did that for 7 days.
He did devotional service, he fed Vaishnavas.
He did devotional service. He fed Vaishnavas.
Then he got children, he got money,
Then he got children. He got money,
and he got devotion.
and he got devotion.
So, moral of the story is treat your wife nice.
More or less, the story is treat your wife nice. Moral of the story: treat your wife nice,
And observe the month of Vaishak,
and observe the month of Boisak.
which is also known as Madhusudana month.
This is also known as Madhusudana month.
So, I'll continue reading the pastime of Advaita offering different prayers to Lord Chaitanya.
So we'll continue reading the pastime Advaita offering different prayers to Lord Chaitanya.
He cited killing of the destruction of Sudakshina, Sudakshina and others.
He cited the examples of destruction of Sudakshina and others.
যে তোরে লঙ্ঘিয়া করে মোরে নমস্কার, সে জন কাটিয়া শির করে প্রতিকার।
One who offends you
One who offends you
and then offers me their obeisances,
and offers me their obeisances,
that person is cutting the head
that person is cutting the head
of his worshipful Lord
of his worshipable Lord
and trying to remedy the situation.
and trying to remedy the situation.
So, our conditioned souls in this material world
So the conditioned souls in this material world,
who are conditioned by the three modes of nature,
who are conditioned by three modes of material nature,
consider themselves the doers
consider themselves as doers
and enjoyers of all the activities.
and enjoyers of all the activities.
They are insulting our worshipful Lord.
They are insulting the worshipable Lord.
Going to town temple, seeing the Lord without offering any service is being averse to the service of Hari. Going to the temple,
Going to the temple,
seeing the deity,
seeing the deities,
but being averse to serving the Lord Hari
but being averse to serving the Lord Hari
is simply offensive.
is simply offensive.
And that shows they're inclined to material enjoyment and not to devotional service.
And they chose that they are inclined to material enjoyment and not devotional service.
So this is like cutting the head off of the deity
This is like cutting the head of the deity
and then approaching Advaita to remedy it.
and then approaching Advaita to remedy it.
So we should be very careful to offer the Lord our surrender and service.
We should be very careful to offer the Lord our surrender and service.
We may show appreciation to our mother, father,
We may show
friends,
we may show our appreciation for our mother, father, friends,
or lover,
or lover.
but if that doesn't have any devotion for Krishna, then it's also improper.
But if that doesn't have any devotion for Krishna, that is also improper.
Because they want to take the worshipable object and do a servant.
Because they want to take their worshipable object and to serve it.
Just like one prays to Krishna
Just like one prays to Krishna
or some worshipable deity.
or some worshipable deity.
Give me this, give me that, give me the other thing.
Give me this, give me that, give me those things.
We want the Lord to serve them.
They want the Lord to serve them.
And rather we should want to serve the Lord.
Better we should want to serve the Lord.
কৃষ্ণ লঙ্ঘনকারী ইতর দেবপূজক সত্রাজিৎ আদির দৃষ্টান্ত সূর্যের সাক্ষাৎ করি রাজা সত্রাজিৎ ভক্তি বশে সূর্য তান হইলা বিদিত
Being pleased by the devotion of the king Satyajit,
Being pleased by the devotion of King Satrajit,
the sun god appeared before him directly.
the sun god appeared before him directly.
লঙ্ঘিয়া তোমার আজ্ঞা ভঙ্গ দুঃখে দুই ভাই মারা যায় সূর্য দেখে সুখে
Uh, since they disobeyed or transgressed your order,
Since they disobeyed or transgressed your order,
they were guilty of the disobeying your order.
they were guilty of disobeying your order.
The two brothers died,
The two brothers died,
and the sun god saw this with satisfaction.
and the sun god saw this with satisfaction.
বলদেব শিষ্য তো পাইয়া দুর্যোধন তোমারে লঙ্ঘিয়া পায় সব অংশে মরণ
Although Duryodhan was a disciple of Baladeva,
Although Duryodhan was a disciple of Baladev,
because he offended or disregarded you,
because he offended or disregarded you,
he and with his whole family were killed.
he with his whole family were killed.
হিরণ্যকশিপুবর পাইয়া ব্রহ্মার লঙ্ঘিয়া তোমার গেল সবংশে সংহার।
So Hiranyakashipu received the benediction of Lord Brahma,
Hiranyakashipu received the benediction from Lord Brahma,
but when he offended you,
but when he offended you,
he was killed, and his whole family, with his whole family.
he was killed with his whole family.
শিরচ্ছেদী পূজিয়াও দশানন তোমা লঙ্ঘি পাইলে সবংশে মরণ।
Ten-headed Ravana
The 10-headed Ravana
cut his head off and worship Lord Shiva.
cut his head off and worshipped Lord Shiva.
Cut his heads off.
Cut his heads off and worshipped Lord Shiva.
Yet he was killed along with his family.
Yet he was killed along with his family.
When he disregarded or he offended you.
When he disregarded or offended you.
শ্রী চৈতন্য দেবী সকল দেবতার মূল আকর ও সকল ঈশ্বরের ঈশ্বর। ভক্ত জগৎ সকলই তাহার দাস। সর্বদেবমূল তুমি সবার ঈশ্বর, দৃশ্যাদৃশ্য যত সব তোমার কিঙ্কর।
Origin of all the demigods.
You are the origin of all the demigods.
You are the Lord of all lords.
You are the Lord of all the lords.
Controller of everyone.
Controller of everyone.
All the seen and unseen living entities.
All the seen and unseen living entities
are your servants.
Are your servants.
সর্বেশ্বরেশ্বর কৃষ্ণে সেবা বিমুখ ব্যক্তির কৃষ্ণদাস দেবগণের পূজা ফলে তত্ত্ব দেবতা কর্তৃক বিনাশ প্রাপ্তি। প্রভুরে লঙ্ঘিয়া যে দাসের ভক্তি করে, পূজা খায় সেই দাস তাহারে সংহারে।
If someone transgresses or offends you,
If someone transgresses or offends you,
then approaches your devotee
and then approaches your devotee
with devotion, that devotee accepts the worship
that devotee accepts the worship
and then destroys the person,
and then destroys the person,
not worshiper,
not worship.
not worshiper.
That worshipper.
So Advaita Sai is worshipping Chaitanya Deva,
So Advaita Gosai is worshipping Chaitanya Deva,
Vishwambara,
Vishwambar,
as the origin, as the original source of all the demigods,
of the origin, the real source of all the demigods,
Ishwar Bhagavan,
and as the Param Ishwar Bhagwan,
supreme controller of all controllers,
supreme controller of all controllers,
the object of all this transcendental love.
the object of all transcendental love.
So all the living entities, seen and unseen, manifested and unmanifested,
So all the living entities, seen and unseen, manifest and unmanifest,
are your servants.
are your servants.
Uh, so bewildered living entities
So bewildered living entities
would think that material enjoyment is the purpose of life.
who think that material enjoyment is the purpose of life,
They offend you,
they offend you,
and they think that that's justified.
and they think that that's justified.
To ignore you or to transgress you,
To ignore you or to transgress you,
and for their offenses,
and for their offenses,
they have to suffer.
they have to suffer.
So the so-called worshippers of these different devas,
So the so-called worshippers of the different devas,
the demigods,
the demigods,
they destroy themselves by their false sense of domination.
they destroy themselves by the false sense of domination.
বিষ্ণুকে লঙ্ঘন পূর্বক শিবাদির পূজা, বৃক্ষের মূল ছেদক পূর্বক পল্লবাদির সেবন কার্যবৎ। তোমারে লঙ্ঘিয়া যে শিবাদি দেব ভজে, বৃক্ষ মূল কাটি যেন পল্লবেরে পূজে।
Worshipping the demigods, headed by Shiva and others,
Headed by Shiva and others,
while disregarding and offending you,
while disregarding and offending you,
like cutting the root of a tree
is like cutting the root of the tree
and watering the leaves.
and then watering the leaves.
So different sampradayas of Lingayats
So different sampradayas of Lingayat
and impersonalists
and impersonalists
have recommended a worship of Lord Shiva
have recommended the worship of Lord Shiva
without understanding his constitutional position as the greatest of all Vaishnavas.
without understanding his constitutional position as greatest of all the Vaishnavas.
So, as a result, Mahadev doesn't accept their worship.
As a result, Mahadev does not accept their worship.
And by their getting entangled in the conception of personalism,
By getting there entangled in the impersonalism,
they lose their propensity to worship.
they lose their propensity to worship.
So this world is a temporary nature of the Supreme Lord.
So this world is a temporary nature of the Supreme Lord.
They are more interested in the temporary fruits of this world.
But they are more interested in the temporary fruits of this world.
So they worship Shiva or different devas,
So they-
demigods,
They worship they worship Shiva and other different demigods
who are in contact with the external energy of Lord Vishnu.
who are in the contact of external energy of Lord Vishnu.
It's like uprooting a tree and then watering the leaves.
It's like uprooting the tree and watering the leaves.